What's up guys, Benjamin here. What is the DoD SKILLBRIDGE program? Today this video is going to discuss what the DoD SKILLBRIDGE program is, what you need before you submit that request, and a couple of things to consider before you submit that request finally. Let me give you a little bit of background about myself so you don't think I'm just blowing smoke. So I've been in the Navy for almost 4 years. I initially enlisted as an undesignated seaman. A couple years after that, I became a logistics specialist, and that's what I am now. If you want a little bit more information about my time in the Navy, I have a video series called Deck History. I'll leave a link to the description in the bio. You can check that out. Now, what is the DoD SKILLBRIDGE program? You're going to want to first reference NAVADMIN 222/15. It fully goes over everything you need to know involving the SKILLBRIDGE program. I'm going to just give you a general overview of what the SKILLBRIDGE program is. The DoD SKILLBRIDGE program allows sailors within 180 days or 6 months before they get out of the Navy to participate in an internship of their choosing. The Navy also provides internships provided through Fleet and Family. After you take TGPS or TAPS class or transition class, you're going to want to get some more information from them. You're going to coordinate with the counselors there, and they're going to give you all the information you need regarding SKILLBRIDGE program. Now, before you even generate your SKILLBRIDGE request, you're going to want to do a few things. One of the things are your annual ethics. Okay, that can be accessed through e-learning, and it's a simple NKO. You knock that out, print out the certificate, you can put that in your folder for routing. Next, you're going to want to complete your TAPS class. There's a certificate you get from your transition class or TAPS class that you're going to want to include in that as proof that you completed that. Let's talk about the contracts. So once you finish your TGPS class, you're going to be coordinating with your counselors from TGPS. They're going to provide you with a list of all the internships, apprenticeships, and certifications you can get that are provided within your area of your duty station. Okay, now what you really want to tap into is choosing your own internship or apprenticeship. That can be accessed through the Memorandum of Understanding. What that is just a contract template that you fill out. You fill in the blanks and you fill in the information provided from the internship of your choosing. So now let's talk about all the papers you're going to need in your folder when you route up your special request sheet. Okay, you're going to need the contract or memorandum of understanding. You're going to need a special request sheet filled out, and you want to make sure that it is within 180 days of your EAOS. You're also going to need a copy of your TGPS certification of completion, and then you're going to want to also include a copy of your EAOS, proof that you are getting out of the Navy when you say you're getting out of the Navy. And last, your annual ethics. You include all those things and you should be good to go. Some things to consider before you submit that request. Now, depending on your level of importance at your command, you need to consider how much time you're going to be taking out. From my experience, I run the hazmat program on my ship, and they're taking that into account when I route up my special request sheet. So depending on how important you are on your ship or your command, you need to consider that, because there are certain internships or apprenticeships that are shorter in length as opposed to taking the whole 6 months. Because believe it or not, in the instruction it says that it's up to your CO. So whether something may be unfair or not, it's up to them. So then they have that instruction to back that up. So just be wary of that. Another thing to consider is after you finish your TGPS class, you're going to be tasked with completing your capstone, which is it's a list, checkoff list that involves all the things that you're going to need to get out of the Navy. My command wants me to complete that before I submit my request. Now, you need to get with your career counselor and get with them and find out all the things that your command is going to want to see before you submit that request. Again, it's not going to be an easy process because you're going to be gone from your command potentially 6 months. They're not just going to let you do that easily. So you need to make sure you have all your ducks in a row. Make sure you have all your paperwork done in KOs, even cyber awareness, which is, it's not a requirement in the instruction, but your command might say, oh, they didn't complete their cyber awareness for this year, or anti-terrorism in KO, and they may hold you up. You want to make sure all that stuff is completed before you submit that request, because the folder could be up and it could take up to a month or two before you hear back from your command. So please just make sure you have everything set up, because I would hate for you to submit everything up and then they send it back down and say, oh, they didn't complete their cyber awareness in KO. Another thing to consider is you want to make sure that you're educated on what the SKILLBRIDGE program is. So I highly suggest you read the instruction, because a lot of times you'll try to send this up through your chain of command. They don't even know what the SKILLBRIDGE program is, and it takes more time because they have to educate themselves on what the program is, and they're going to try to read the instruction and find loopholes, things like that, to make it more difficult for you, depending on your command. You know, this all is subjective to whatever command you're at, but just make sure that you're educated on what it is, so that way you know exactly what you need. The last thing I want to recommend when you're submitting your SKILLBRIDGE request is typing up a memo. So this memo could have information regarding what your plans are when you get out of the Navy, how important this internship is to you, and it just gives your command a general understanding of where you're headed in life, what your mindset is, and it kind of allows them to empathize with you leaving the command for up to 6 months. If you submit your request and it just has the required paperwork, they're not really desensitized to that. They're not going to really have any emotion towards you. They're just going to see the paperwork and they can just give you a yes or no answer. But if you include that memo signed by you, giving a little bit of yourself in there, they may empathize with that. So that's my last tip. If you have any questions, just leave a comment below. I will comment back to you with any information you need, and we can get your SKILLBRIDGE program set up. All right? I'm Ben. Thanks again.